Good evening, East Brunswick. Welcome to the March 9th Town Council meeting. I'd like to ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to salute our flag and nation and remain standing for a moment of personal reflection. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. I would like to ask our clerk, Ms. Lawful, to please do the roll call for tonight.
Councilmember Hall?
Here.
Councilman McAvoy?
Here.
Councilman Wendell?
Here.
Councilwoman Winston? Absent. And Council President Zambicki?
Here.
Also present, Joseph Crisculo?
Here.
Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca?
Here.
And of course, Township Clerk Tamara Lawful. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and the Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Thank you. All right, we need an approval of the minutes for Resolution 26102. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
And second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambicki?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a resolution of recognition tonight for one of our longtime employees. So I'm going to ask Donna Rossi to join me at the podium, please. All right, everyone, we have a resolution accepting the retirement of Donna Rossi. Whereas Donna Rossi submitted written notification to the Township of East Brunswick that she has retired from the East Brunswick Police Department effective on March 1st, 2006. Whereas on November 23rd, 1998, Donna began her career with the Township as a records processing clerk in the East Brunswick Police Department. She was later promoted to Special Operations Assistant in the year 2000, a position from which she retired effective March 1st, 2006. Whereas throughout her 27 years of service to the Township, she demonstrated exemplary characteristics to the Township of East Brunswick through her work ethics, dedication, leadership, team spirit, and enthusiasm for her duties. Now therefore it be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of East Brunswick that Donna Rossi's retirement is hereby accepted with an effective date as of March 1st, 2026. Be it further resolved by the Mayor and the Town Council that they hereby extend their sincere and grateful appreciation to Donna for her 27 years of dedication and outstanding service to the Township of East Brunswick, and congratulate her on a very, very, very well-earned retirement, and wish her happiness, good health in the years to come. And I think one thing that we can say, there was all of this, but team spirit, enthusiasm, leadership, totally describe you, Donna. And we are so grateful for your 27 years of service and wishing you all the best.
Thank you. It was a great ride.
So why don't you say a couple words? Why don't you? Yes.
put me on the spot here. Thank you, everyone, for this recognition. I really do appreciate it. I was 27 years, well, actually almost 28 years here, and I've worked with a lot of great people. It's been a great run, but it's time for my next chapter. But thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're going to we'll keep this to you later. We'll give this to you later.
Thank you.
Not even after your studies, at the retirement.
Yes, I missed that.
I thought his people, I can tell you that.
I'm trying to do phones, so it may take me a while. Thank you. That's
I'm just saying,
Congratulations.
thank you so much. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Donna, I hereby dismiss you from this meeting so that you can go enjoy with your family, because this will be a long one. Thank you so much, and thank you to your family for coming and celebrating with us tonight. All right, so tonight we have 16 ordinances on the agenda for second reading. Yes, I see some heads going down, yes. I apologize, but Township business. So their second reading, and we are going to, let's see, ordinances 2609 through 2604 through 2609 are ordinances that had their first reading on February 9th. So this will be the second reading. We'll read each ordinance, and there'll be a public hearing and a vote for each of them, okay? So it's a little consuming in time, but important. So we'll start with 2605. Ms. Lawful.
Ordinance 2604, an ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 228, Article 1, zoning, Section 228-3, to comply with the Fair Housing Act, NJSA 52:27D-302 et sec.
Motion to adopt.
And second.
Second.
Second? Okay. All in favor? Oh, I have to do the public portion. I forgot. This is where we have all the public portions. Apologize. So this ordinance is the Arisi 2 affordable housing on Main Street. If there is anybody from the public that would like to speak to this ordinance only, please come to the podium.
Next one is Main Street.
Yeah, this is the definitions.
I missed one. I'm ahead one. Wait, this is the definition. I'm sorry. This is the definition.
Well, Kate Keller, our planner's here, maybe she give a quick.
A review of what it means?
Of each one, like a quick summary. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all.
Just for the public
Yes.
knowledge, Keith Kipp, Director of Planning and Engineering and Construction here, and Kate, one of our planners who works on a lot of projects with the township, is also very knowledgeable on affordable housing. She's been contracted to help us with our affordable housing plan. I can't remember your, Keller.
Keller.
I just know you as Kate.
That's okay.
She'll be helping us through this process.
So that we don't have to call you up for each one?
Absolutely.
Can we go through 04 and through 09 and just do a quick
We absolutely can.
Perfect.
And so sorry for all the public have my back to you. My name is Kate Keller. I'm a professional planner with the firm Phillips Price Grigel Laney Keller LLC. And I have been working with the township for about almost a year and a half now, working through the fourth round housing plan. And so where we are tonight is actually a really good thing because we are almost at the end of this part of the process, which means that the township is very close to having a fully compliant plan as designated by the courts. And that means that, we're in compliance with the fourth round of affordable housing and immune from any sort of exclusionary zoning litigation for the next 10 years. So what we're here to do tonight is to really we're going through a few different ordinances, and there's also three resolutions on the agenda, which I can also talk about now because I think you're going to be voting on those separately. They're not part of the consent agenda, so that will answer other people's questions and when they come up as well. So what we're here tonight is that we're here to do what is part of the state process, which is to adopt the certain resolutions and comply with what's called a consent order that was granted by the judge, Thomas McCloskey, who's the Mount Laurel judge for Middlesex County, in early February. And what that consent order for conditional compliance, that's what that document is called, it certified that the Housing Element and Fair Share Plan that was initially adopted last June and endorsed by this council, and then it was recently re-adopted just 2 weeks ago by the Township Planning Board. So what they're saying is that the Township's Housing Element and Fair Share Plan satisfies the state amended Fair Housing Act subject to certain conditions. And those conditions are some of the zoning ordinances that are on here tonight, as well as some administrative requirements, which are part of the resolutions. So those have to be met by 3/16 of this month, technically 3/15, but they pushed it to the Monday to give the attorneys an extra day. But so that is what we're here today, to meet that statutory deadline. And with limited exceptions, this is a deadline that applies to every municipality in the state that's participating in this affordable housing process. So it's been a busy month for municipalities all over the state, and we thank you for your time tonight and to all any members of the public who might be interested. So really, the ordinances that are on the agenda tonight are 6 ordinances that are intended to implement the Fair Housing Element and Fair Share Housing Element and Fair Share Plan, or 4 of them are for that, and the other 2 are really to kind of meet these administrative requirements. So, and I'll go through each of those. So Ordinance 26-04, that is what Anthony was just speaking of. This amends Chapter 228 zoning, Article 1, definitions and word usage. This is pretty simple. All this does is that it clarifies and adds new definitions for multifamily housing, townhouses, stacked townhouses, et cetera, just so so that the ordinances are clear, because those are just some of the unit types that may be constructed as part of this housing plan. So that's really just some minor tweaks to the ordinance for definitional purposes. Ordinance 26-05, this is called Regulations for the Main Street Mixed Use Plan Development District. And this is a zone that is essentially replacing an existing zone that was called the Senior Citizen Mixed Use Plan Development District. This was developed, this is on Main Street near the southern border of the township, to just west of 18, the former yeast factory site. And that was initially developed about 10 years ago which not with a senior development after, some back and forth, but the same developer who has already built some housing there is proposing to build more inclusionary housing on that site. And that basically this ordinance amends that existing senior zone to better reflect what's there right now and to specifically permit the number of units that have been agreed upon by the township and the developer there. So
Kate,
that's.
can I just ask a question?
Yes, please.
Just because I think some people aren't clear, inclusionary housing, just the definition of that.
Sure.
What that means.
Inclusionary housing is any type of housing, whether it's rental, for sale, any type of, whether it's any type of project that has a certain amount of units that are set aside as affordable housing. What that means is that for a project like the ones that are being proposed here, the set aside percentage is typically 20%. So that means that 80% of the units that are built will be market rate units that are available to the general public, and the other 20% will be income restricted affordable units for moderate, low, and very low income families. And the reason this is done is because it essentially, when these apartments are built to meet the town's affordable housing regulations, it's done without using public funds. It's all on the developers are doing that themselves, and that's where the inclusionary component comes in. So,
And it could be a variety of housing, correct?
variety of housing
Single
types.
homes.
This plan envisions everything from townhouses up to apartments, but not necessarily all apartments at all.
Got it.
So that's ordinance 26-05. Ordinance 26-06, this is adding a new zone, which is called the Townhouse Residential Affordable Housing Zone. And this is for a site that is owned by the township near the corner of 6th Street and Icker Ave, off of Route 18, just to the west. This is formerly known as, it was a 6th Street area bus terminal site. The township has owned it for over 20 years, and we are proposing, in coordination with a nonprofit or affordable housing developer, to build a 100% affordable project on this site that would likely consist of townhouses or stacked townhouses, but it's TBD, to be determined. We do not have a concept yet for this site, but we intend to try to utilize this as part of our plan, and the courts have agreed to it. So, just for each of these, so for the Main Street mixed-use site, just so everyone's aware, we do have there's a developer that owns the property who has a plan for the site that we are working with them, but that's not that will all have to go to the planning board. There will be many more hearings to come. This site, we are simply rezoning it. We do not have a, there's nothing has been formalized yet. The next one is ordinance 26-07, and this is to rezone a property that's 660 Cranberry Road. That would be in a new zone called residential TH3. And that's, again, for the development of an inclusionary residential project consisting of either townhouses, stacked townhouses, or multifamily. That has not been finalized yet. That permits up to, I believe, a maximum of about 42 units on the site. And I should note that the 6th Street 26-06 site, that would be a maximum of 30 under this current ordinance. So again, nothing's been finalized yet for that site, but we do intend to, what we're here tonight is to allow potential for affordable housing and inclusionary housing on that site. So those are the four ordinances that actually affect the zoning district. It's affecting 3 sites as well as one changing the definitions. And so then the next 2 ordinances that are on tonight, the first of those is 26-08, and what that does, it's replacing the township's existing, it's called the Affordable Housing Ordinance, and that's how it's identified. It's a little confusing, I know, because all of these sound like they're affordable housing ordinances, but this one is really an administrative ordinance. It really just dictates per state law how affordable housing will be implemented, monitored, put into place, et cetera, in the township. And this is all based on a model ordinance that is done statewide. The reason that we had to adopt a new one is because essentially when the new affordable housing law came into play and new state administrative rules and regulations came into play, there were just some slight tweaks in it. A lot of it was like just changing the statute code, codifying numbers and things like that. And there's a few very small changes to definitions and things of that nature, but nothing is really substantially changed from what was previously there. And in any event, these are all things that would have to be met anyway because the state law supersedes. So it's an overhaul of that ordinance, but it's really an administrative issue, or really administrative ordinance in my opinion. And then finally, ordinance 26-09, same thing for the development fee ordinance. And the development fees are what is collected from various residential and non-residential uses throughout town. Is when someone is developing something, they have to pay a certain percentage of the assessed value. And again, this is a statewide law. So it's same thing. This was only slightly tweaked to really cover all of the new state statutes. There was no substantive changes here.
Thank you.
The only one thing I would note is that there have been a few There have been two very minor tweaks to the ordinances since first reading that have been, they're shown in the public agenda that was posted. The first was just for the MSMXD zone. We missed a line, essentially just saying like where it applies to. It was just a typo, and all of the things that are covered under there are actually part of the existing ordinance. So that's not considered a substantive change. And also for the 6th Street, the Townhouse Affordable Housing District, that one, I mistakenly, one of the setbacks was from the wrong street, and so we corrected that to be from 6th Street instead of Davison. So discussed with council, everyone's agreed that these are not substantive, and so thus they are satisfied for second reading tonight.
Perfect. And we have 3 resolutions
Yes.
as well, so if you just want to go through those.
Absolutely. So the 3 resolutions are, and I apologize, I might not have them in the right order, but the 3 resolutions, the first is adopting what's known as an affirmative marketing plan. This is something that the township did back in 2016, 2017 during the last round. And this is, again, in alignment with state law. And what this does is that you agree, working with the township's housing specialist and municipal housing liaison, as well as working with any type of administrative agents who may operate any affordable housing programs, that you were just agreeing to advertise them in ways that comply with state law. It essentially means just making sure that people who are eligible for affordable housing are made aware of the fact that there are these units available. The next resolution is for a 4th round spending plan, and this is, again, required under the statute, and this was also done in 2016, 2017, and so we're just updating it. And this is intended to show how development fees will be collected and spent over the next 10 years. A lot of it's just projections because we have no way of knowing exactly what type of development fees will be coming in over the next 10 years, but there's just, you can only spend a certain amount of it for administrative costs, a certain amount has to go towards affordable housing assistance, things of that nature. So this is our crack at that at this early time. So again, it's all just has to be in accordance with the state law. And then the final resolution is the council endorsement of the amended 2026 Housing Element and Fair Share Plan. This was just gone before there were some certain changes, most of which I just described. We also made a few updates from last year in terms of we added in one site, took another site out. Everything just resulted in the ordinances that I just described. We also made some updates related to the state development plan, which recently came out. Just a lot of technical things, because again, it has been almost a year since that was initially adopted. And so that was adopted at a public hearing of the planning board on February 25th of this year. And this would just be the council just endorsing that approval and just for submission to the court. And that's it. So no big deal. Yes. But happy to take any questions from the council and if there's any public questions or comments.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to open the public portion for 2604, which is essentially the definition of.
Can I just ask, could you just tell us where the Main Street site is?
Sure, it is 85, it's the rear of 85 Main Street.
Thank you.
Okay, so public portion, if anybody would like to speak on 2604 and that only, please come up. No? Okay, close the public portion, and now we need the roll call vote. Thank you.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes, thank you. Ordinance 2605.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 228, zoning, to add Article 25D, regulations for the MSMXD Main Street Mixed-Use Plan Development District to comply with the Fair Housing Act, NJSA 52:27D-302 et sec.
Awesome, thank you. Public comment for this ordinance only. This is the Main Street redevelopment area. Anybody for that? Okay, we'll close the public portion. May I have a motion? Or first of all, motion, sorry. A motion to adopt?
I'm going to go with the comment.
Comment, go ahead.
Before we move
Please.
to possibly approve it.
Yep.
Ms. Keller, could you, maybe I should have done it while you were up at the, stop the read.
There's for the general public that's here, just give a brief explanation on the timeline, the 10-year plan
Sure.
with regard to what this is all about.
Sure, so this is, are you just speaking about this site in general, or just
No,
the
in
overall?
general.
Yeah,
In
okay,
general,
okay.
But it applies to every site.
Absolutely, yes, exactly. So, yes, so when we say, you know, it starts to sound, I know it's a little bit repetitive, but this is called the fourth round of affordable housing. Well, it goes back to the 1980s, the first, second round, third round, but the fourth round essentially means a 10-year period that goes from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, June 30th, 2035. June 30th, 2035. So that's a 10-year period. And everything that we're speaking about tonight is what the township has agreed to do to meet their obligation over this 10-year period. Some of these projects that have been described in the plan that you described tonight, some have already been constructed. A number of them, and some of the smaller projects, such as we get credits for assisted living units, things like that, they've been constructed and they've been approved. Some of these credits are things that were built 5 years ago that we had extra from the last round. But in terms of new development, for the most part, there's some limited exceptions, but for the most part, there is a 10-year process, a 10-year period in which to develop this. Every year we have to report to the state and just give them an update on everything that we've done. In 2030, there's something called a midpoint review, which is when you have to kind of drill down a little more in detail. And if there's anything that really does not seem like it's going to be feasible, that's when we would get an opportunity to look back and see if there's anything else we need to do to keep our plan compliant. But as of now, adopting these ordinances tonight, barring one more review by the court and Fair Share Housing Center, the township is going to be considered to be compliant for the 10-year period. The other thing that I just wanted to note also is that I know people you may be asking where's we've heard about the Brunswick Square Mall. That is also part of this agreement because of the complex nature of putting redevelopment there. We have gotten an extension from the courts on that, so that I'll be back here. Don't worry on that. But the deadline for that is not March 16th. It is September 30th of this year. So that is, there is a little extension there. So that's when I say that we're almost done. We're not quite there yet, but everything that we're doing here tonight would put the township in compliance. Does that answer your question, Mr. McAvoy?
I get it. I hope you understand it as well. As I've read through the ordinances, I have yet to come across the word condemnation. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
As I continued to read the ordinances, I did not come across the words eminent domain. Am I correct?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Keller.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Councilman.
Council President.
Thank you. So I need a motion. Yep.
I'll move it.
Thank you. And second?
Second.
Thank you. And roll call vote because we did the public hearing. Thank you.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambicki?
Yes. Thank you. All right, this is ordinance 2606, which is the 6th Street area. Thank you.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 228, zoning, to add Article 25F, regulations for the Townhouse Residential Affordable Housing THAH District to comply with the Fair Housing Act, NJSA 52:27D-302 et sec.
Thank you. A motion to adopt.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you.
Comment?
That comes next. Yep. So, yes, before we, yes, yep.
I am in favor of the rezoning of this property and how it brings us into compliance. I know there's been some discussion about donating the property to a developer, and I'm not in favor of that, and I just want to make that clear, that I don't feel that the township should donate property that it's owned and cleaned and done a lot of other things to over the years. But I am in favor of adopting the rezone.
Okay, anybody else before we go to the public? Okay, hang on. There's a public portion, you can, yep. So public portion for this ordinance and this ordinance only. If anybody would like to speak, please come to the podium.
How you doing? My name is Ron Lateplo. I live across from the property you're talking about my whole life. I was born 1956. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the area there. The whole development, there used to be a major stream that ran through there. It was filled in. It then got redirected behind Smith Farm. When they built Smith's Farm, they were supposed to clean the dirt and everything else there. They didn't. They just bulldozed it to the wetlands to make more room for more housing. If you follow the stream down, because I used to walk my dogs and stuff down through there, where it gathered at a culvert, there was so much arsenic in there, because I know the Smith family, I know what they used to put there. There was so much arsenic in the ground that it leached all through there. From there, it then eroded or killed all the vegetation, like a nuclear bomb went off, that it was so bad that it eroded the railroad tracks that were just suspended in air with nothing holding them up. So they were condemned. But the property you're talking about now was originally a lumber mill and sawmill. The gentleman that was killed on site, they closed the building, and was then purchased in the mid-60s as a bus company. It was rezoned from light manufacturing and then light industrial manufacturing to a bus company. The bus company, when it was owned, because we were at the meetings, were only supposed to be for school buses. After 2 or 3 years, they snuck charter buses in, and nothing ever happened with that. They ran the suburban bus company from there. From there, when that closed, that place was so contaminated, because we used to go in there as kids and buy sodas and stuff from the soda machines in there. There was a trench that ran in the back through the building, out to the stream that they would dump their antifreeze, their oil, and everything else in. It wasn't clean. The property was never cleaned. I've lived there my whole life. I know they put new fuel tanks in. They were never removed. The old stuff was bulldozed over in the back of the property. So when someone said the property was cleaned, I've never seen it cleaned. I know it was tested, and I know it was told that it was dirty. But from there, the whole property, a developer wanted to do this property years ago. He went to the town, before any of you were here, he proposed to put 6 or 8 homes there. They said absolutely not. The property isn't big enough due to the wetlands behind it. So and there's no sewers there. You would have to put either septic or a pumping station, because the sewer, everything is downhill. Or you're gonna have to fill that whole property up to make it higher, so the water runs down. After all that was said and done, he was only able to put 2 or 3 homes there, and it wasn't feasible, and the town was gonna make him clean it up and put streets and stuff in. And with the pumping station and everything else, it just wasn't practical. The town was then thought about turning it into a park, like they have over by ShopRite, a small community park, but that never materialized either, because I guess no one wanted to take responsibility to clean up the site. And so I don't know what they're going to put there or what they're trying to put there, but there's no traffic studies been done since they opened up Chick-fil-A with the back entrance. That neighborhood is totally inundated with cars that have never been going through there before. The roads were never paved in all the years. They were paved one time in all the years I've been there. They used to put oil and stone down first. That was your street. Then they paved it once, and since then, all they have done is patched and paved different spots, but the neighborhood has never even been paved. So I don't know if there was a traffic study done, what's gonna happen when they put 30 units up, how many parking places for each unit? 2? So that's 60 cars, plus guests coming in and out. I don't know where this is going, but I don't think it's right.
Thank you for your comment.
Yep.
We'll take.
My name's Frances Lateplo. I'm his wife. I live across the street also. And I agree with him as far as that it's never been cleaned. We saw containers put in the ground, And then at one time, we went to a meeting and they told us that it was a Superfund site. So I don't know when or if you looked into this, but besides that, the wetlands in the back and 60 cars, we are a very small neighborhood. Most people don't realize we're even there. So to get to us, you have to come in Iker. So if you're going to put 60-plus cars there, where are they going? It's not a big enough neighborhood for that size. I mean, I could see a couple houses, but 30 apartments or townhouses, never going to happen. It's too small. And again, where are these people going? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to echo similar.
Just your name and address.
Oh,
please.
Rebecca Bexey. I'm at 66th Street, so directly across on the corner of one of the entrances to the affordable housing that you guys are proposing. So this is my husband, Michael. This is Ward. We actually have half of the neighborhood is pretty much covering back there and over on the side here. So we just want to show you guys the representation of how important it is. I know that this is a 10-year plan, but most of us have small kids. We're going to be here for decades. My family has been here. We're now on our third generation in this neighborhood. So it's really important that we get to keep the small community that we have, because that's really hard to find in East Brunswick. So most important is what we've already echoed, is that site is not safe to build on. I would not allow my family to live there. Over the decades, we've all known that things have been dumped, things are not cleaned up correctly. Actually, under your CFO, Lou Neely, he had members of the Public Works Department try to clean up, not certified, to try to get rid of things that were in the bus company after it was closed. We don't know if things were properly done, disposed of correctly, so I really would not feel comfortable with having my children there. So first and foremost, please, please, please go for the safety of the people that you want to live there, even if you don't look at the impact on our little 50-something house neighborhood. Secondly is the traffic. So with all the construction on Route 18, which we know is important for our town's infrastructure, but when construction is happening right on Route 18, because our neighborhood is right there, the impact is significant. So if streets get closed off and there's more traffic, it's so unsafe. We do not have sidewalks in our neighborhood. So take that into consideration. If you add 30 units, 60 or more cars coming in and out of our neighborhood, there's no sidewalks. It's not safe to walk, for me to walk, for my kids to play. When construction happens, and cars are diverted through the neighborhood, not that they should be, but they don't know where to go, it's not safe for my kids to be outside. So that is the second thing that I worry about. And then there are streams that run through there, wetlands, so the impact on the wildlife, there's actually a plethora of wildlife back there that will be displaced with this housing. So I know that we want people and we want housing, and I'm all for affordable housing. I am not against affordable housing. I just don't think, for many, many reasons, that that is the appropriate site for it. It's not safe. It's going to make our neighborhood unsafe in terms of traffic, and it's really just going to kind of take away from the appeal of where we live as well. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on this ordinance? Okay. Is there any? Oh, we have another? Oh, sorry.
So,
Thank you. Just your name and address, please.
my name is Juan, and I live in 50 Iker, which is kind of around the corner from where that is. Just today, today and yesterday, I was riding bike. Well, I wasn't riding bike, my son was riding bike around the neighborhood. I'm sure everybody heard us because I gotta coach him as we go. If 45, let's say each unit has a car and a half. If 45 new units come in there, I mean, you're barely gonna be able to even walk the neighborhood. One thing that everybody talked about, but we didn't mention specifically, is that there's only 2 entries or exits to this whole area. So it's sometimes it's a little tricky as it is to kind of navigate those two entrances, but with 45 to 60 new cars, I mean, it will completely change the character of the neighborhood, and it'll be like the first, like when you're playing Monopoly, you're the first one that gets a hotel. It just looks weird. That wouldn't fit in our neighborhood. A 30-unit place just doesn't go. All of us have either a single family or two family homes. That would just completely change the way everything is. And like I said, we moved here in 2020. We came here with our mask on to house hunt in East Brunswick. We ended up in a dead end. I mean, to raise my son here, it was like perfect. Just last year we got a dog, and we will have to look for a new place to live if this happens, you know? And we wouldn't want that, so just wanted to say that. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public on this ordinance? Okay, thank you. Is there any comment? Okay. We need to do a roll call vote.
Councilman DeHall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
I find that we're meeting our New Jersey legislative obligation with regard to affordable housing covering the next 10 years. And therefore, yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes, including my comments earlier.
And Council President Mbeki?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to ordinance 2607.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 228 zoning to add Article 25G, regulations for the Townhouse Inclusionary Residential TH3 District to comply with the Fair Housing Act, NJSA 52:27D-302, et sec.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Second?
Get a clarification on this?
Yes. Did you?
Yes.
This is the 660 Cranberry Road property?
Adjacent to Orchard Park and Care One.
Just that I want the audience to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's immediately adjacent to Care One and Orchard Park on Cranberry Road.
Thank
It's
you.
about, what, 5-acre parcel or something?
3
Less.
acres.
Yeah.
3 acres. Where were we? A motion, I needed a second, right?
Yeah, I provide
You-
the motion.
Motion, I needed a
Yeah.
second.
Second.
Thank you. All right. And is there anybody from the public that would wish to speak on 2607? Yes, please, come up.
Hi, I'm Michelle Shoel. I live at 11 Autumn Lane. And, okay, I usually don't speak. I'm not good at public speaking, so. My concern is removing the wooded area and building townhouses, affordable housing, and the buffer it's going to leave with the existing homes. We get a lot of noise from the chateau, and the trees are a buffer, especially like in the summertime. In the winter, not so much, but if we build homes there, we're going to have less of a buffer. Also, it will definitely impact drainage, privacy, and our neighborhood's character. I've lived there for 23 years, and we've been very happy with our community. It's a very small property that you want to, your plans are, it's 3 acres, and you're thinking about putting in a lot of housing. And Cranberry Road, as everybody here knows, is a mess, especially during rush hour. And to add, if you have 30 to 40 houses, we could have up to 100 more cars on the road, on Cranberry Road, which is dangerous in terms of emergencies and just traffic in general. So I would like the developers to tell us like what our buffer is, and to have a larger tree buffer like how many trees would we be wooded in? Because my property will back up to it.
Council President, if I may?
Yes, please.
Remember, this site will have to come to the planning board, and at that particular time, you'll be noticed, because you'll be within 200 feet of that. That's the avenue for you to come and express your concern with buffer areas and trees and
Okay.
things of that nature.
Okay, and also, like the stormwater runoff, I know that I've had to fix my basement and, so have my neighbors. So this is going to change the whole drainage. We could have a problem with that. And I want to know if the planning board's done a traffic study at 3 to 6 o'clock on Cranberry Road, because bringing even 50 more cars will be impossible to get through. And I would just like a little more of a buffer and not as much traffic. I mean, it's a small area, we don't need so many houses. Maybe single-family houses, maybe it's not the appropriate place for this type of project. It's only 3 acres. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody that would like to speak on this ordinance? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Purnachandra Kinini. I'm 9 Autumn Lane. I'm a neighbor of Michelle. I have the same concern. It is a very small place, having like a 30 houses. It will be the more disturbance. I would rather having like an independent houses, a few. That's what I'm concerned. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment on this ordinance? Okay. All right, we
Just
need...
to echo.
Yep,
Mayor, Council President?
you may.
Mr. Crisculo told you that coming to the planning board would be a good vehicle for you to get answers to your questions. With this quasi little smirk on my face, we have a couple of members of the planning board who are eco-friendly big time, and trees are their middle names. So I'll just tell you that that's one area of your concern that you don't have to be concerned with. Thank you, Council President.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, everybody's good? Roll call vote?
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. Okay, we have ordinance 2608.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 132, Article 8, Affordable Housing Ordinance.
Motion done. Second.
Anybody from the public wish to speak to this ordinance 2608? Okay, nobody? Okay, close the public portion. Roll call vote.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. And ordinance 2609.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, replacing Article 132, Chapter 132, Article 4, provisions applicable to both boards, Section 132-32.1, mandatory development fees, with Section 132-32.1, development fees.
Move to adopt.
And second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And the public portion for this ordinance, anybody like to speak? Seeing nobody, yes, no? Seeing nobody, I'll close the public portion for this one. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. All right, that finishes the ordinances that dealt with affordable housing. And we hear you, affordable housing throughout New Jersey is a hot button topic. It is something that is mandated and governed through the judicial portion of our government. Essentially, it is looked at and determined, where the areas of town that we could put affordable housing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we challenged this fourth round of affordable housing to get it reduced a bit due to some land that they determined was buildable, but was not. Mr. Criscolo.
Certainly. Kate and Keith and Kevin McAvoy and myself appeared before the judge, and we were able to reduce it somewhat. And then we were faced with the Builders Association filing a suit against us, objecting to the number that we came to. We then further went to mediation with that. We weren't as successful as I would have liked, but when you go to mediation, it's kind of like getting divorced. Nobody's happy. So we were stuck with the number. So, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank Councilman McAvoy and Kate and Keith for their time and effort to try to do that, and a lot of clarification. This was a tremendous amount of work on our professionals and our staff just to get to where we are today, and it doesn't go unappreciated by me as the administration. It's a long, arduous process. It is a constitutional law. People don't understand the Constitution of the state of New Jersey mandates this. So you're not doing a constitutional amendment. So we have to comply. And we don't want what is known as a builder's remedy. No. And this is what we're doing right now protects us from what is known as builder's remedy.
Which could be more, correct?
It could be sizably more, because they could come in and say, rather than doing 100 units and getting 20, let me do 300 units and I'll give you 100. And Fair Share Housing would love that.
So I feel badly because a lot of the people that were here to speak tonight left already. When we can explain this a little bit better, we understand. And the other thing is, this affordable housing, again, is ran by the judicial system of our government. And if you appeal anything, you also appeal it through them. You do the math, right? You figure out where that's going. So we're doing the best we can in East Brunswick to make it as best as we can. And like you said, planning board is a place to go, in order to address your concerns when it gets to that point.
If I may, I just want to speak. I just want to, for the residents, these ordinances are not allowing a developer to develop the property. They're changing the zoning to allow it to be zoned that way. We are not in any way obligated to build these property, to build out these properties. We were obligated by the courts to zone for this. And that's all we've done. Kate, I'd like to thank you for all the hard work you've put in, and Keith and your team, all the hard work you put in finding these properties and segregating them and deciding, where it should go. I've been here 16 years, and it seems like we continually get strapped with another 300 units of affordable housing that we have to put in town. And it's difficult because you can't just segregate that affordable housing to one place. Nope. So, thanks, Kate. I'm sorry.
No, thank you, Councilman. You started,
And that's, yes, please. Thank you, Kate.
Comments on that. I agree with everything that you've said and everything that Councilman Wendell just said. So I just also want to clarify, and I agree, unfortunate that many people who are interested have left. Maybe they'll watch the video, maybe they'll hear about it from their neighbors. But essentially, this is just one step in this process. And what we're doing here tonight is legitimately we are here doing what the court has asked us to do. We proposed these sites, that is part of our plan, but this is just the first step of this long process. And so, to the Autumn Lane residents, speaking about about what's the developer's plan, what's the buffer. We don't know. We don't have that yet. And that is something that when these, if the site remains viable, if they go to the planning board, there'll be fully engineered site plans that will be for review by the planning board. And not just that, they'll have to comply with NJDEP requirements for stormwater, which is essentially that you have to improve the conditions. And that goes for all of these sites. And with the 6th Street site, yes, the potential for, cleanup is still part of the question mark there. And if it cannot be cleaned up to meet the very high standards of New Jersey regulations, which now, in the year 2026 are higher than ever in terms of both contamination and in the stream corridors and wildlife and everything like that. If that can't be done, then it can't be done, and then we'll have to go back and we'll have to think about it more and find a new site. But by what we did tonight, it gives us more time to, accurately identify, accurately investigate this. So the first process is putting the zoning into place, and then if it turns to be feasible, then every single property will have to go to the planning board. Every single development will have to go to the planning board. So I just want to remind everybody of that, and that this is all this is doing is just putting the zoning in place as a first step. So, thank you.
And we hope our residents that left did or will hear that, right?
Yes.
And I do want to thank you, Kate, for the amazing few-page summary of the hundreds of pages that we went through. That was very helpful, so I do appreciate that. And thank you, Keith, as well, so thank you. All right, we're continuing with our ordinances.
Madam President, could I speak before we do this?
Absolutely.
We have 8 capital and bonding ordinances regarding capital projects. I have Angel Albanese, our CFO, is here today. We've already done first reading on this. This goes into the various utilities and so on. So I have asked Angel to come just in case there's any more detailed questions that I was unable to answer for you at the last
The first reading, right? Which was the 23rd, our first reading.
The day after snow.
Yes, right? Okay. All right, so we're going to move to ordinance 2610, which is our moving for the capital improvement fund. Yep.
Capital ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriated $931,000 therefore from the Capital Improvement Fund.
Awesome. Thank you. Second? Thank you. And this is for a public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak on this? No? Okay, seeing no one, I'm going to close that, and a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. Next ordinance is 2611, dealing with the parking utility.
Capital ordinance appropriating $38,000 from the Park and Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various park and utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. And second?
Second.
And this is also for a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. And this is ordinance 2612, which is for the police training utility.
Capital ordinance appropriating $71,000 from the Police Training Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various police training utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. Motion?
Motion adopted.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Anyone from the public portion that would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. And ordinance 2613 is for the pool utility.
Capital ordinance appropriating $130,000 from the Pool Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various pool utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. Motion?
Motion adopted.
And second.
Second.
And this is also for a public hearing. Anybody from the public that would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, I close the public portion. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. And ordinance 2614 is for the sewage utility.
Capital ordinance appropriating $446,000 from the Sewer Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various sewer utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
And a motion.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Thank you. And this is also for a public hearing. Anybody from the public that would like to speak to this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Roll call vote, please. Uh-oh.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes, thank you. Okay. The next ordinance, I'm speaking slowly till we get a new microphone here. Ordinance 2615 deals with the water utility improvements.
Capital ordinance appropriating $1,835,000 from the Water Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various water utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
And a motion to approve.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you. This is also an ordinance for a public hearing. Anybody that would like to speak from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Oh, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep.
Just want to confirm for the public's knowledge, all of these ordinances that we just approved, they come from a capital improvement fund. We're not bonding for these monies. The next one is a bond.
Yes.
But the
Correct.
previous ones,
Our
from all
capital
the
improvement
utilities, are from their capital.
From their own.
We're paying cash.
Right. Just want to confirm for the public.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We did the public hearing on this or not?
Yes.
We did? Okay. Yeah, roll call vote. Thank you.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 2616 is for bonding as needed for township-related matters. Thank you.
A bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,265,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,151,700 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. Motion to
adopt.
approve. Second.
Second.
Thank you. And this is for a public hearing. Does anybody from the public like to speak to this? Okay, closing the public portion. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
And Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes, and ordinance 2617, this is to finance the water line under Route 1, and just to remind everybody that we did receive a $1.5 million grant from this previously that we approved.
A bond ordinance providing for various water utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,250,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,250,000 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
And a
Motion
motion.
adopted.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. And this is a public hearing. Anybody from the public would like to speak to this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Oh,
Just question for Mr. Criscuolo or
Criscuolo?
maybe Mr. Kipp. Has the engineering for this work all been completed with the previous funds that we set aside for this? Or are we, we're on a timeline where we need to go out for
We have a
design?
proposal for the engineering, we just finalized the initial grant. So once we start moving into that grant, the engineering will be brought before the council.
All right.
Get them to do the design work, then we'll come up with
Okay.
an actual plan that we can ready to go to bid with and have budgets for exactly how much it's going to
So
cost.
expectation is work probably won't be done until early 2027?
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on how bad it is for us to get DOT permits.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
We need to do a public hearing on this ordinance. Is there anybody that would like to speak to this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion and roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes, thank you. 2618 is the fee schedule for the ice arena.
An ordinance approving the fee schedule for the East Brunswick Ice Arena.
Motion adopted.
And second?
Second.
Thank you. This is a public portion. Anybody that would like to speak on this ordinance from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. Ordinance 2619 is an ordinance prohibiting the release of balloons into the environment.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code, Chapter 150, Nuisances, Public Health, by establishing a new Article 7 entitled Intentional Release of Balloons.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you. And this is for the public portion, and I think we have some eager people ready to speak.
Well, it was self-inflicted. I had to wait for some of them to get back from Florida. I suggested that it was done earlier, but we had to wait for somebody to get back from Florida, so I had to wait an hour.
So I guess.
I warned them.
Payback.
I warned them.
I will say that. This was payback.
I warned you.
That's all right. It was very interesting to watch this. It was.
So if you both would introduce yourself and the committee you're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Lithia Aramati, 2 Bernard Road, East Brunswick.
And I'm Holly Cerami, 12 Neil Drive, East Brunswick, and we are part of the East Brunswick Environmental Commission, and the subcommittee of that is the Sustainability Task Force. We're actually from the task force.
So we want to take a moment just to speak about why this ordinance is so important and to sincerely thank the East Brunswick Township Council for adopting it and recognizing the work of the East Brunswick Environmental Commission and the Sustainability Task Force. So when people release balloons during celebrations or memorials, it feels meaningful at the moment, and then they forget about it. But the balloons don't disappear, they come back. Sometimes they come back miles away, and it's litter in open spaces, waterways, and neighborhoods. The material the balloons are made of, whether it's latex, mylar, or the helium balloons, take years to break down. So they stay in the environment for thousands of years. And they pose serious risk to wildlife. Birds, turtles, other animals can ingest the fragments, or they become entangled in the string, which often leads to fatal consequences.
This ordinance acknowledges that balloon releases are more than just symbolic gestures. They cause us real environmental harm and create safety risks. By prohibiting these balloon releases in the township, East Brunswick is taking a proactive step to protect our environment, our wildlife, and our community, and is proving to be a leader in responsible environmental responsibility. In so doing, they're guiding the town toward following our motto of think locally, act globally. Small actions, when repeated across a community and across many communities, can have lasting impacts. So again, thank you to the Township Council for your leadership and taking this important step for our community.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
My name is Don Rosenberg. I live at 23 West Zoller Road. I've been a East Brunswick resident for 44 years. One of my favorite things about East Brunswick is its proximity to the Raritan Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm a fisherman. The Ocean Conservancy organization posted this today. Plastic pollution is wreaking havoc on our ocean and marine wildlife. More than 11 million metric tons of plastics enter our ocean every single year. That's roughly the same weight as 55,000 blue whales, a devastating amount of plastic. To date, nearly 1,300 marine species have been documented with plastics in their bodies. But together, we can reshape the future for our ocean and limit plastic production at the source. Join the movement to defend our ocean from the deluge of harmful plastic pollution now.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public portion and a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicky?
Yes, thank you. Thank you to everybody who stayed for the process of this. It was a lot of pictures, a lot of, you're saying pictures, a lot of ordinances. Would you like to have a picture with this? Okay, we can stop and do a picture. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yep. Come up front. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then text it to me and I'll put it on Facebook. Ronnie knows what to do with his pictures. She'll put it on Facebook.
Come on, Ronnie.
Come on, Ronnie, get in the floor.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Ronnie's not in the picture because I'm already taking it.
Okay, everybody move close.
Holly, is that understatement? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody text me.
All right, we are at the report section. Mr. Criscola, do you have a report tonight?
No, because you're going to go over the Daisy thing, right?
Yes.
Thank you. No
Got
report.
All right, and our attorney, Mr.
Council President.
Thank you. Township clerk.
Just a friendly reminder to our residents with pets to renew your animal license, as that license will be expired the end of this month, effective April 1st. Late fees will be assessed, so please renew your animal license. Thank you.
Perfect. And our council reports. Anybody have a report?
Council President, may I?
Yes.
So Park and Recs Board met on February 25th, and following are a few highlights. 41st Annual Norma and Ralph Lamos Daisy Breakfast will be held on March 15th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Hilton Hotel, 3 Center Drive, East Brunswick, New Jersey. This event is an excellent opportunity to support Daisy program, connect with your neighbors, friends, and enjoy a delightful breakfast. Additionally, March 22nd is our ice rink grand opening. This all-day event will feature a ribbon-cutting ceremony at 10 a.m., hoping that many residents can join us. Our East Brunswick Adaptive Recreation received Jacqueline Stanley Excellence in Therapeutic Programming Award for hosting an All Abilities Bike Pilot program at Daisy Day Camp. Furthermore, Ashley Falcon has been awarded with William D. Falls Rising Professional of the Year Award. Congratulations to Ashley and Parks and Recreation for these remarkable accomplishments. Thank you.
Good news. Thank you. Anybody else have a report? Okay, we are moving on to the public portion.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at her discretion, may choose to respond or not respond.
Okay, thank you. Anybody from the public that would like to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Thank you.
All right, we have several resolutions. We have 3 that require a separate vote, so we're going to start with Resolution 26104.
Resolution of the Township of East Brunswick endorsing the amended 4th round 2025 through 2035 housing element and fair share plan.
Motion approved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you. And roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes, thank you. And we have Resolution 26105. Again, these 3 resolutions, Ms. Keller already spoke about.
Resolution of the Township of East Brunswick adopting an affirmative marketing plan for the Township of East Brunswick.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
And roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. And 26106.
Resolution of the Township of East Brunswick adopting a 4th round affordable housing spending plan for the Township of East Brunswick.
Motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
And a roll call vote.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Thank you. For our consent agenda, we have resolutions 26107 through 26115. Do we need anything separated from this? All good? Okay, a motion for 26107 through 26115, please.
So moved.
And second? Thank you. And roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. We do not have any ordinances for a first reading, so that's right after this. And we are on to the good of the cause for the council. Does anybody have
I
anything?
would just like to say, I hope we can get as many people from the public out to the Daisy Breakfast on Sunday as, possible. It's a great organization and a great thing to have in town.
It is, right? And we have 4 hours to get there from 8 to 12 at the Hilton at Tower Center, and we hope to see you, and then hope to see you the following weekend on that Sunday from 10 to 6 at our new ice arena. And just wanted to point out that the League of Municipalities puts out a monthly publication, and sure enough, we are once again featured in that magazine for our ice arena. So it is pretty awesome, and looking forward to seeing it get well used, and our students having a place close to home to call home, and lots of young'uns learning how to skate. Anybody else? And do I have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you for attending. Whew, right? That was...